You know, it's funny when you think about it. The words we use every single day. We think we know them, right? But so many of them have these secret lives, these hidden depths. They can totally change their meaning depending on how, when, and where we use them. So today, we're going to crack the code on these chameleon words.
I mean, just look at the phrase get lost. On one hand, it's a super angry command, right? Get lost and don't ever call me. But then, in a completely different situation, it's a really sincere offer of help. Hey, call me if you get lost. The exact same words go from aggressive to caring. The only thing that changed? The context.
And that right there is the whole idea. So many of the words we use are like chameleons. They just shift their meaning based on the situation, the emotion, or the tone of voice. We're about to dive in and explore these words to figure out the secret, unwritten rules of English.
Okay, first up, let's talk about words that basically wear masks. These are phrases that seem simple on the surface, but they're hiding some surprising meanings right out in the open.
Let's start with the classic, the word weird. Sure, the dictionary says it means strange or bizarre, but in an actual conversation, oh, it's so much more than that. It's this fantastic little exclamation, a one-word response that's actually a pretty powerful social tool.
So think about what's happening here. When person B just says weird, they're not just labeling the situation. They're actually signaling a kind of shared confusion. It's like a conversational shortcut for saying, huh, that is strange, and I don't have an explanation either. We're in this together.
And then you've got another word that wears two masks, cheesy. On one hand, it can mean something is just overly sentimental, almost cringy, you know? But on the other hand, it can mean something is just plain low quality or cheap.
So in this conversation, when someone calls the friendship bracelet cheesy, they're not talking about how well it's made. No way. They're making a social judgment on the gesture itself. That it's a little cliché, maybe a bit childish. This is where context is absolutely king, because it tells you if we're talking about feelings or about price tags. All right, now for a category of words where the dictionary is pretty much useless without your ears. We're talking about those times when how you say something matters way more than what you're actually saying. Just listen to this. I can say, Woopy, and you feel genuine excitement. It's a party. Or I can say, Woopy, and you can just hear the total boredom, right? It's the same exact word, but the emotion gets completely flipped, all because of the tone.
So, picture this. Your friend says, let's go to the party and eat some candy. If you just got a text back that said, Woopy, you'd have no idea. Is your friend genuinely thrilled, or are they sarcastically dreading the whole thing? You absolutely need to hear it to know for sure.
And this really gets to the heart of it all. If you want to truly master a language, just memorizing definitions isn't going to cut it. You have to understand it in the real world, with real emotion, in a real context. Language is alive, and it lives in the way we actually speak it to each other. Now, this whole idea of emotional context doesn't stop there. It gets even more interesting when we look at expressions for shock and discomfort. Let's check out some words we use for everything from a stubbed toe to a completely jaw-dropping price tag. Let's take the word ouch. We all know it. It's that instant cry of physical pain. But what's so cool is how its meaning has expanded. It's gone from just physical pain to covering emotional and even financial hurt. So when someone says they got audited by the tax man, and their friend replies, ouch, that had to hurt, nobody thinks they physically got injured. Ouch here is all about empathy. It's a quick, easy way to say, wow, I understand that was a painful experience for you, financially and emotionally. Next up, we have outrageous. At its core, this word is a signal. It basically means some kind of line or boundary has been crossed, whether that's a boundary of good behavior or decency or even just price. But just look at the sheer range of this word. It's wild. It can mean something is unbelievably bad or unbelievably good. It can describe something that's absurd or violent or even incredibly cool and amazing. It is the perfect example of a true chameleon word, where its meaning is almost totally defined by the situation around it. And here's the perfect, everyday example. Someone asks, did you see the price for those shoes? And the response is just outrageous. There's no doubt what that means. It means the price is shockingly, absurdly high.
The context makes the meaning crystal clear.
All right, let's switch gears. Language also gives us these awesome, colorful shortcuts to label the world around us. You know, people, things, music, everything.
Take the word catchy. Why do we even have a word like this? Well, it's because it describes a very specific feeling we've all had, that earworm feeling. Catchy is the perfect label for something that gets stuck in your head, whether you want it to or not. You know that feeling, right? You hear a song once in the morning and you just can't stop humming it all day long. Calling it catchy is the perfect shortcut. It's simple, it's effective, and everybody knows exactly what you mean. Now, on the more informal side of things, we've got a word like hottie. It's definitely slang, it's very direct, and whether or not it's appropriate is totally dictated by the context, who's saying it, where they are, and who they're talking about.
And for our last example, let's look at a word that's so specific to its context, it's almost like a ritual. It's for that exact moment at the end of a huge meal when you physically cannot take one more bite.
Someone offers you more food. Have another piece. And the perfect one-word response? Stuffed. It's so much more than just a fact. It's a polite, super clear social signal that says, I'm full, I'm satisfied, and I am done. You'd almost never use the word this way outside of the dinner table. And hey, here's a little bonus tip. If you want to add a nice compliment after you've declared that you're stuffed, something like, I've never eaten better, or I had more than enough, works perfectly.
So in the end, it's the context, the tone, and the situation that really unlock a word's true power. These words are so much more than what you'll find in a dictionary. And that leaves me with one final question for you to think about. What other chameleon words do you use every single day, maybe without even realizing it?